What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fish Gaming community. So recently we've been getting a lot of questions on our TikTok lives and our Twitch lives about how to do herd management. My personal favorite animal to hunt is whitetails, so it's the same basics for everything, but the whitetails are just a little different. So remember that this video is going to be herd management based around whitetail deer, specifically on Reventuli. This method is going to work for all of your maps. It is the same idea, like generally across the board. So for the first step of your grind, if you're trying to get a G1 or if you're just trying to get diamonds or you just want your map to start looking better, the absolute first thing that you have to do is you have to find all of your water zones. So each map has got a set amount of water zones for each species of animal. They're going to have a set time that they're at the water zone, and you've got to find at least 95% of them, preferably all of the water zones for your animals. So for example, we're on Reventuli. If you've ever played Reventuli, you know that from like this line right here, if you drew an imaginary line across the map right here through the Hupamesta, or however it's pronounced, everything north of that is pretty much going to have a water zone on it for whitetails. You are going to have a couple of southern lakes that have zones. So like for example, this lake right here, I've got 2 water zones on it. Down here, I've got 1 water zone here. I've checked over here because I've had a couple there before. And then over here, you can have a mix of water zones kind of spread out around these few lakes here on the left and all of these. So just make sure you double check all of these really good. But for the most part, everything is going to be 2/3 of the top half of the top 2/3 of the map. So make sure you check over here on the far east. This is some really good zones over here I found out. So the second step of your grind is you obviously can't check all of these in a reasonable amount of time, you know. Reventuli's got anywhere from 60 to 75 zones, but the average is 65 or 67 water zones for whitetails. So for me, I personally have 67 zones spread all about, but that's just a lot of zones to check. So what you're gonna want to do is that a lot of these, like down here, there's 1 zone here. I don't want to be wasting a tent to come down here and try to check this zone. Kind of the same thing with these over here. So what you want to do is, it's going to take some time. Don't forget that it's going to take some time. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to shoot these zones until only small things are there. So what you're going to want to do for these, what we call exterior zones, stuff like over here, this one's pretty small, this one's small, this one's only got like 4 deer on it, same thing with this one. All of these over here where they're just standalone zones and they're harder to check, you don't want to waste a 10 on it. So you're going to shoot the level 2 bucks out of that until they respawn as level 1s. Again, it might take a lot of time, it might take a lot of resets. That's perfectly fine. Just be fully expecting that it's going to take some time. But once you do that, those spots are full, so you know that none of your big deer are going to respawn there, right? So then what you can do is do what I've done here, where this lake right here is one of my best. This is one of my best lakes. This lake here is one of my best lakes. Same with this one, this one right here. Everybody knows that Ramin's a really good whitetail spot, and then up here. So what you can do once you shoot all of these zones down out here on the outside, the ones that are going to take a long time to manage, you can set up on your main zones like I have here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lakes. That's approximately 22 to 23 zones that I'm primarily going to focus on. So this is called interior and exterior zones, right? So here's my exterior zones. These are my interior zones. These are the ones that have got the most deer that I'm going to be the most effective on when it comes to herd managing. And the third step of your herd management is that once you get all of these, the bad zones shot down, you're going to start coming around to these zones like this. I'll show you here. You're going to start coming around to these zones, and you're going to shoot all of your medium to high level 2s, meaning whitetail deer are level 1, 2, and 3, but you can have small level 2 whitetails, and you can have big level 2 whitetails. And up here to our zone, normally we have a zone right here, that's why we have a tent there, so we'll shoot them from here, or a little further back, and we'll fast travel down and we'll pick them up, but we don't right now. So something else that I think is really important for you all to recognize is that having tents is super important for your grinds, whatever grind you're doing. You need to be able to get around places faster. You don't want to spend a bunch of time running. It's super, it's not very effective. It's very inefficient. So like you see our zone right here. What I can tell you, so tents are super important. Tripods are important, but you don't have to have as many of them. So you can see right here that we are 190 to 260 yards away. So for the Zara 308, that's pretty much just aim and shoot. It's dead on. And we can put our tree stand down right there, and none of those deer spooked. So you don't have to have a tree stand on every single one of your zones. You can just do what I do. I just carry one with me because I'm stingy and I don't like wasting money on stuff. So I just carry one stand around. That's all that I do. So for what we were talking about with the animals, so here we got a tiny level 1, a small level 1, and we've got 2 big level 2s in there, and then a bunch of does. So the third and final step of herd management is you want to get rid of all of those big level 2s. Like that guy can go, that guy can go. Right, so we're just going to take those guys out real quick. Probably only going to get one. There we go, we got the other one. We're going to get out of our stand. We're going to pick up our stand. Don't forget to pick up your stand. If you do the single stand method, make sure you don't forget to pick the stand up. That is super important. Now we can fast travel to our retrieval tent on the other side of the lake. And then we can just simply go over here and retrieve our whitetails. So here's number 1. See, he's a 185. And then over here, I believe this guy was probably a little over 190. I don't remember exactly what his score was. Yep, 192. So then what you do is you just keep cycling around all of your main zones like that. So we'll go to the next one. We're going to go up to this. This is another one of our really good zones. We've got like 4 whitetail zones on this one, but I've kind of used pressure to push all of them like together so they're a little more consolidated onto 2 zones. So if you do start doing stuff like that, it does get a little bit easier because all your deer are in one place and you can get the ones that you need to get. So like, yes, I spooked these guys, but the next time I can just come to this tent instead and shoot this way. So again, being more efficient, using less tents, which is super effective. So we've got all of these boys over here, and then we've got these guys over here. So again, they're 150 to 210. I can just sit my stand down right here and not worry about spooking them. See, perfectly fine. We're gonna take out that guy and that guy. Oh no, we did not do well on that guy. There we go. Beautifully done. Just gonna pick our stand up. We're gonna fast travel back over to here. Alright, so we fast traveled over to our retrieval tent. We're gonna run down here and pick these guys up. Wherever they may be. Got one there, one there. So we got 2 out of this herd. And another helpful piece of information that I got from somebody was to only kill 2 animals at a time out of a zone, because if you shoot more than that, sometimes it takes them a little longer to respawn. It's pretty interesting actually seeing how all of that works. But only kill 2, maybe 3 out of your zone. And all you're going to do is you're going to do that on your main zones. You're just going to wash, rinse, and repeat that cycle. And eventually you're going to start having diamonds spawning. The G1 spawns are completely random. You can't do anything to force a G1 to spawn. So like stacking diamonds, that doesn't matter. It's just fun if you stack diamonds. I like stacking diamonds because eventually I'll get to go through and I'll get to kill like 10 diamonds in a row, which is always a good time. And we do community nights, so that's fun for everybody to get a chance to get their first diamond. But you're just going to wash, rinse, and repeat this. You're going to start getting a lot of diamonds really fast. And then whenever the game decides that you're lucky enough to get a G1, you're going to get one. Now, what's super important to remember about this is that, so killing those 2 animals added pressure. Pressure can make animals move zones. So, like, if you start seeing, say I came back up here and these 2 guys never respawned, and it's definitely been long enough and nothing ever respawned in their spot, you have to make sure that every couple of rotations you come and check your exterior zones. So, like, what I do is I just killed this zone off, I took this zone off, and I'll probably do this one, and then we'll be out of the time zone. And I'll reset the time, and for the first half of the time zone, I'll come check some of my zones. So I'll probably come check all of these to make sure I didn't have any deer move, and then I'll come up and I'll keep hunting off my main zones, and the next time I'll come down and I'll check these zones, and, you know, just wash, rinse, and repeat, because like I said, the pressure can make the deer move. So if you feel like you're missing deer, it's either they haven't respawned because you haven't been patient enough, or they just move to a different zone. So just make sure every now and then you're cycling and checking your exterior zones, because sometimes they do move. Like I said, this is not going to guarantee you a G1. This is just going to help you get a lot of diamonds of the species that you're hunting, which makes the G1 grind a little bit easier. Because if you're just getting a bunch of small kills and stuff, you're going to get bored with the game. You're not going to have as much fun. So this is an effective way to get more diamonds. and make the game more enjoyable for you, and then hopefully you get your G1 to spawn. So like my first G1 that I got in 860 kills on Reventuli doing this exact same method. The second G1 I got in 1,275 kills doing this exact same method. But the herd management forces the diamonds to spawn. So in those 2 grinds, I acquired over 60 diamond whitetails with probably 20 plus rare fur types, which makes it just super fun, you know? But you're just gonna keep doing this, and that is herd management, and that's gonna get your bigger deer to spawn, or your bigger animals to spawn. So like I said, this works with every species. You just have to kill that middle level. So like for moose, you're gonna kill level 3 and level 4 moose. Same way with fallow. For red deer, you're gonna kill 6, 7, 8, 9s, you know, that kind of thing. But this is how herd management works. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very helpful for you all. If you all need any more tips or tricks or just better ways to play the game, make sure you come back to the channel. We're going to start posting a lot more of like these tutorial videos. Make sure you follow us on Twitch. We go live on Twitch every day. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. We are live on TikTok every day, twice a day, 7 days a week, 7:30 a.m., 6:30 p.m. EST. We hope to see everybody there. You all have a good rest of your day.